Well, welcome back, friends, to the Pelican Bay trip 2020. You remember last time we got the game started, got underway real early in the morning, and we let it off here at the island, getting the dogs a potty break. So once we got the dogs back on board, we started heading on down south via the ICW, and this is just past where we stopped with the dogs. Venice Inlet's to the right, but we're gonna keep on going straight here. Well, you're gonna have days like this. Just gotta roll with it. It helps to have a rain suit. I needed a shower anyway. Something about rainwater makes the drink taste good. That's a big swing to it too. Randy knew. That's pretty cool. It's nice not having to wait for the bridge. We are within a mile of our final destination for tonight. We will drop the anchor, and then tomorrow we're probably only going to have about a couple hours and we'll be in Pelican Bay. Probably less than that. But we're going to drop out here just for those trees. I've stayed here twice, so it's a good anchorage. The only downside is there's a public ramp up in the trees. Some people come out here and there, but other than that, it's a great anchorage. Shouldn't have any mosquitoes. And we really hadn't had anything to eat since breakfast, and we're about to starve. I'm glad we pushed through and made it to here. Makes for an easy day tomorrow. Let me know where you feel good about it, Marty. We're out of the channel. Although I do see some crab pots. You just passed them? You see? Shouldn't have any problem with bugs out here. I'm gonna get 50 feet beyond these because there's one there and one there.
Put them by the drop off.
So this was the end of the first day. We got to this place. It's called Placida. I've stayed here a few times, and I know other than a ferry that'll move around, you don't have, too much waves and stuff during the night. It's pretty protected. It did rain later that night. We had, a good bit of just from the bands from the storm. But other than that, it was pretty uneventful.
Thank goodness, the crew must have straight down.
Yeah. I just want to tell a story real quick because when you're underway and it's raining and you have cameras that don't like the rain sometimes, it's hard to capture certain moments. Where we tied up last night, we were in this little bay and there was a real tight cut. Mike had never been there before. We had to take the dogs for a walk, and my suggestion was to play it safe, to just go across Charlotte Harbor. We'll wait till we get to Pelican Bay. And Mike was really undeterred. He says, no, we'll just creep up on it, figure it out. And we did. He just, now here I've been before. I remember that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But great fishing up here.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. It's a quiet place. Just be working up there.
It's such a beautiful spot.
I know.
But yeah, we're about to head out into Charlotte Harbor. We have the outer bands of a tropical storm right now, so it's a little bit stressful. Again, he's never been to that spot where we let the dogs out, and he did. He got us through a very narrow cut. We didn't know what the depth was. He's pulling multiple kayaks and small boats. You got to worry about that line getting caught in the propeller. It seemed like he didn't care. I mean,
well, the one thing though to mention is we did see big boats, so we know if those big boats could get in there. Otherwise, I may have not tried it with all the little boats. But yeah, we did see a trawler.
There was a trawler in there. It was like an old shrimp boat.
That's what
again, though, my mind says that guy could have gone in during a high tide. Right. There's a lot of boats, despite it being rainy and nasty like this. There's still a lot of boats out there. And anyways, yeah, I think a lot of captains would have said in this particular situation, nah, it's too risky. But you find yourself in that situation a lot, where you let your mind get ahead of you and you're worried about this or that, and this guy here, he's got a tendency to not let that deter him. I mean, it's probably because you had a career of running into burning buildings and stuff like that, so he gets the job done. And I just wanted to give him a little bit of credit, because myself, in this situation, I probably would have told the dogs, you know what, you're gonna have to wait. But then again, with that mindset, a lot of things are going to wait. You're not gonna go on these adventures. You're not gonna go out and live life if you just worry too much. So I'm not only out here having a good time, but I'm also learning some life lessons. So I appreciate it, Mike. Yeah, there's bands of rain all over the place. Not a lot of lightning. It's all coming straight down. Again, calculated risks. This part I'm okay with, believe it or not. If the wind starts coming and good times is a big vessel, we'll be all right. But it's tight quarters, like we just experienced. There's a bunch of things that have intimidated me that you've handled very well.
Well, but in reference to this, if we'd have had a wind out of the east or the west, I wouldn't have wanted to do it either, because we'd have been rolling all the way down.
Yeah,
We're pretty much going to have it on our nose. And the best, obviously, is a following sea, but if not, this is a good sea.
Yeah, it's hard to see. There is a little bit of a chop.
Oh, it's going to pick up down there, but
yeah.
I know it was on our nose, and this boat can take,
Yeah.
Well, I know it can take about 10-foot waves, but I've been in them.
Yeah. Again, minus water spouts or some catastrophe, it will be.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be good.
Yeah. Usually on the other side of these things, it's really beautiful, and the reward is extra sweet.
And it's nice and cool today. It is cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah.
It could be dreadfully hot right now, and not having air conditioning when you're underway and stuff is kind of tough. So we are counting our blessings, and they are many. As far as I'm concerned, having this guy at the helm means a lot to me, because anyways, I don't want his head to get too big, so I'm just gonna.
So we continued working south here, heading towards Charlotte Harbor. We were still in this sort of tight area that had us protected from the wind, but once we passed these islands here, it kind of picked up pretty good, and the waves eventually got up to around 3 foot when we got down in front of Boca Grande and Boca Grande Pass. But we made it through and made it on a little south to Pelican Bay and well, after many years of reading about Pelican Bay and all that, we finally get here. It's a beautiful anchorage. It's everything everybody said it was.
Yep. Plenty of places no matter which way the wind's coming to hide.
Yep, you can move. It's almost covered wide. That's the only opening other than the other end like that size. So you could move around. It's beautiful. You probably can't see it. We'll end up showing you, but there's a point. There's an island. Those boats sitting on the back side of that is completely calm. I think the fishing is going to be good here. Yeah, it's going to be exciting, but many years coming, we finally made it.
Good times cove.
Good times cove. So Pelican Bay is a pretty cool anchorage. As you can see, it sits behind Cayo Costa State Park, which is this set of land here, which sits on the Gulf. One side's on the Gulf, and then the rest of it is on the inland. Now, it's interesting when you come into Pelican Bay, it doesn't seem right, but you got to really hug this edge over here where the beach is, and I'm saying within like 30 feet, or else you will run outside and you'll get caught up in the shallow areas. So you really got to follow that when you're coming in, and as I scan in here, you're going to kind of see it. So you got to come right down through here and follow the sand sprit. If you was to get over port side too much coming in, you can see that it gets pretty shallow right there. But there's no pictures of them today, but this little sand sprit is very popular. Boats come in here behind it and will pull right up on the beach. We actually seen a crocodile in there one day. There wasn't very people there. We took good times in there. And the bay has a lot of good little protective anchorages. This is one that we stayed in and see the little beach where we were able to take the dogs. That was a pretty good little area. And then over here on the back side, when the wind was coming more out of the southeast, we tucked in behind this little area and was protected very well. You can see you really can find a spot out of the wind if you look anywhere in this anchorage. This was a cool little hole. Looked like a fairly big mangrove tunnel, bigger than that, but I have heard of boats going up in here during actual hurricanes. And I think from what we could tell talking to the ranger, this house is one of the people that work for the state that live on the island, but definitely a pretty cool anchorage. In the morning, a little windy out. Getting ready to take the dogs ashore. Then got breakfast done. And we're gonna get into some fishing. So later that day, my daughter Courtney and her fiance Nick drove down from Central Florida. It's about a couple-hour drive, and brought their boat, and they put in over on Pine Island and come across the bay and came over to stay with us a night. We got on there because it was obviously much easier to move around. Took the dogs to the park and just done some general playing around, looking and fishing and stuff that day. So here's some little video from that. You know, this is one of the nice things about Pelican Bay here at the docks, where you can go on the island when we had the boat, it was easy to bring the dogs over for them to hop off for a potty break. And this was a little bit of exploring here, just looking around and see what they had to offer. Marty and I would do a trip across the island the following day. My daughter had her new little puppy named Coda with her as well. They've recently gotten her. And although Marty's dog Bayard didn't know how to take her, he didn't really like to be around her too much. Okay, well, this video is reaching its length, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. Y'all come on back. Me and Courtney and Nick's gonna do a little bit of fishing, and then they'll leave the following day. And then Marty and I are gonna do a little bit exploring there on Cayo Costa, do a little walking on the interior, as well as we found or was told about a mangrove tunnel that we're gonna go through and see the beach and get to the beach. So it's gonna be a good time. Y'all need to come on back, and we'll see you then.